unfortunately. Not one of the better equipped, but has hit some nice headshots while holding off ramp. This one a little more labored. And unfortunately, him and Magis both dropped. Here comes Nico trying to clean up. Singular kill to his name, as it's ZywOo to make the difference. And it's ZywOo to hit the ground running. Of all the individual moments we've had throughout all 4 previous maps, ZywOo's consistency from Mirage to Nuke is clearly being felt here.
Yeah, it looks like his best start so far. And now it's an easy decision here for Vitality, as they'll find a place to plant on the upper site. Totally empty, vacated by the CTs, who, unlike last round, have actually made that rotation lower. And is there a gun that kicks in, can go and grab or not? I don't think so.
Second M4 is down in hell off Nico's death. Maybe he just grabs one of his own.
Nice. Yeah, there we go.
Alright, Apex will be pissed about that. See if you can get him on tilt. I think it's full focus. Nice frag as well to just guarantee this exit.
Yeah, that's great.
You know, you whittle down some cash here for Vitality.
All that matters, man, is 4 alive, and it would have only been 1 rifle save, so still a very good attack here for Vitality. Coming into the ramp, fighting him through Turnpike. Is their utility down? You know, it had to be sort of a miracle from Nico or someone else pushing through fire. Unlikely to happen.
Yo, you passport.
Oh.
And now looking at the board, we've got that saved gun. I think Monacis is on the floor somewhere, but no one else will be able to afford anything. Vitality like to ramp on anti-ecos in general. Another feature of their T-side nuke we've especially seen at this event is establishing secret no matter the rounds. Well, there's one rifle down. Don't have to think about that. Nico's priorities, go grab it.
He gets blown away though, and in that moment of retrieving the gun, Apex takes it as a chance to just cross over through secret.
So again, we see some rounds like this where Apex can find out if there's people downstairs. If there are, then he can just turn into a vent player or just frag out.
Trying to flash them out. I don't think they're thinking about Flamesy, so Nico lets the AK go, and Flamesy just nails him with the headshot. Unarmored head at that moment.
Yeah, that's
怎样？
去了，
哦，
很厉害。哦，小丑牌啊！
对吧？
你买了还是什么？
对吧？
这样好玩吗？
These rounds are feeling all too consistent.
还是我去打篮球？
just the CT side. Unfortunately, they'll get back to guns in this follow-up.
你打不动，你打不动，打不动就算了。
Nothing poor Magis can do about it.
不是今天有太多比赛。
哦，这太多比赛要看。好啊，那等一下。
He knows he's looking for him.
但这个是 CS。
对吧？
Talk about the anxiety that must be when it comes to playing versus a team that has Robs on it. You know, just really the best of his style.
It's just because you just slot him in and he adds space. He doesn't take it. He is like Nico in that sense. Or Nico will play outside. He adds space. Everyone else can do whatever they want.
对啊，吃的超光的，肌肉全部都没有。
对啊，就全部都没了。
那你不要再买那个肉片了，
Same with props.
你到时候去买那个 short rib 牛肉块。
I think versus
因为我想气质。
Spirit in the semifinal yesterday as well. I mean, Robs just gave us a masterclass in terms of the lobby to ramp lurks. Anytime ever was played, which was basically every round from Apex, right? His consistency at hitting yard had that Spirit squad just so hyper-focused. And in those moments, every time you let your guard down, Robs is just going to scream around those corners.
Yeah.
Ramp had his name just stamped across it.
Ramp and secret, you know, it's the longer way to get to lower, but it's the way that Vitality like to approach it. They do not risk trying to do vent drops with upper fakes because there's so much spam involved, so many nades that can blow up in smokes in CS2 that it's just way more dangerous to do that. It becomes situational for them, but low numbers into the round, sweep is always a great option. When Vitality feel like you're in the power position and 5v5, they will go for outside cross smokes, establish on secret, then make a choice after that. A lot of times it's the ramp splits that come in. And then in between those rounds, you know that that's on the back of Falcon's minds right now because they haven't seen that yet.
Maui Snake was correct in his assessment of Nico kind of getting put through the blender, struggling to get some outer momentum going. Monacy spots it from above. Nico wants to try to test this, but also doesn't give away his position. Doesn't
found the
spam,
timing, though.
wants to flank. And then at the same time, Rops gets active. From top hut comes the response out of Magisk. And Nico actually didn't follow. He goes deep into the corners of Garage instead, just waiting for the main split.
I think after Rops got his kill, he started to get concerned about upper suddenly, because why would that lurk come in? Well, just to thin the herd down a little bit.
Just such another great example of Vitality getting their opponents to second guess every piece of info that they have.
Even without ramp, you have the threat of a three-pronged split here on lower. You've got the windows on control side, the doors, and decon as well. Spots and terrace. It's a key position. But right now, the attack is not majority from decon.
Despite Rops being dead, Monacy still concerned about that ramp flank. Ooh, good one from Tesses. Keep the decon kill clean. There's a deep peek, bolstered by that smoke.
Incredible.
You get Monacy out of the equation by smoking it off. They just jump on Tesses.
That's the three-prong split right there. They don't even need to come in from ramp for it, and they still have so many ways to attack. They did a good job also of surveying inside of the vent before they went into decon, and they saw there were no rotations. That's where it was very scary for Falcons. They didn't actually know for sure that that was what was happening. It was only Nico's audible as 4 players crossed right by him that they felt it was going to be a lower attack.
In a moment there where Nico had to make a critical choice to follow through a smoke into secret with the threat of that entire pack of players he heard staring at him as they maybe come back to A, and arguably set up by an early activation of Rops.
This is a disinformation play from Vitality.
Okay.
They had Rops come out of hut onto upper. No matter what happens, it stops Nico from worrying about this play because he thinks there's some greater plan at play. And instead, Vitality just go forward, are happy with it being a 4v4, and take the lower side as if it's a standard round.
Have been in the past criticisms of Magisk on the A-site defense of Nuke.
Yeah, for sure.
That's a round where, unfortunately, the timing, he's not having eyes on the hut exit. This time he finds the opening kill. Sweet revenge for having dropped his teammate in the round prior. Magisk gets away with 10 HP.
One of 2 rifles here for Falcons. There's been a few rounds with 2 rifles.
Early force buys didn't really net them much. Still just that 1-round win.
Nico just wants to get involved so badly. He might have a timing swing. We'll see. Utility's not here to support him, though. He's just going to be listening.
I mean, stomping all the while. They gotta know somebody's potentially back here.
Flash
Eats
is
that flash
perfect.
fully. He gets into the smoke. Oh, this is huge.
Did they both eat it? Is that why?
That was Mezzi on the other end of it. Now Mezzi and Nico are just face to face. And Monacy's gonna serve up a distraction in the middle of it. How has he managed to skate past them twice?
He doesn't even know he was sharing a room with his enemy right there, and somehow doesn't get the chance to get a kill.
Zywoo will, though. Doesn't let that chance slip by. Just denies Kickstand outside of main. I mean, that could have been a bloodbath either direction.
2 players guaranteed upstairs. They probably think there's an extra one. They're trying to speed up down lower.
It's the pistol in Tesses. Oh, hits the headshot again. That Desert Eagle has been class. But Mezzi and Zywoo with the better weapons get the better position. And unfortunately, limited rifles, one of which in Nico's hands just never has anything to shoot at.
Got a good set of utility here from Magisk, and Nico's coming in full HP, and they have a kit. It's worth a shot.
Nico's got to be the one to unravel this. Mezzi opts to take that deep position back sight. Magisk slow to the party, but critically has to come through with the kit and the util. And Zywoo's missed that timing on the flank. Nico's gonna start to crawl upwards. It feels like Zywoo's gonna find himself 1v2. Mezzi gets cleared out, just trying to hold it on his own. Remember, Kit out there on the play. But Magisk, he's gonna die to this nade. Just gets blown off sight. Zywoo, ice cold, another clutch to the tally.
Yeah, that's right, man. He's running out of chalk now with this tally. My goodness. Vitality absolutely crushing. Perfect rotations every time they've hit lower, even when there's players here to stop them. They are so careful about the way that they approach, and it's always like 2 kills at the same time as they're entering in. It's even with a great deagle shot from Tesses. zany situation inside of the big garage between Nico and Mezzi. Man, they don't even know they were sharing space. They can smell each other in that spot.
And if I'm Nico, I'm starting to get so frustrated.
Yeah.
The round prior, you know, he kind of hides back garage.
Yeah, he can't play the game.
He can't.
Can't play the game.
He can't play the game. He would love to.
And that's what Vitality want. The thing is, man, this Vitality's game plan is outside. We know that about their T side.
Every time.
And Nico, well, he's supposed to be the perfect counter to that. So if he can't play the game, he's got to ask for help or find a new way to try. Because otherwise, there's just going to be a lot of sitting behind smokes and letting Secret get taken over. The one time he started here, it was the 1 AK round for Zaiwu, where Flamesy baited and saw him. Nice. Okay. There's a little bit of support. Actually countering the cross smokes was something.
There's a lot of attention, though, given over to it, right? Tess to Secret, plus the Kicksan Nico combo.
And this road leads to upper for
They're gonna
sure.
test him. Rob's behind the vent already.
Also, speaking of not playing the game, avoiding Monacy entirely too. He's 1 and 6.
Robs has had a good time on this A floor, finding timings. And now he's got support
No one
from
in the
Hunt
rafters.
instead. Kicksan just kind of caught in the open. Now suddenly tons of pressure here on Magis. They write him off for a second. He's not able to get more than one. And so they do what Robs does and just creep out onto this bomb site in numbers, recovering from a man deficit.
It's got to be a retake, man. It's not going to be an easy round, but it's finally a round that ends upper, and they're in a 3-on-3.
He's looking for the flank. Vitality locking into these forward positions inside of Hunt. Flamesy thinking about the approach, sees a bit of skin, tries to pounce on it. Meanwhile, squeaky door held off. Zaiwu awaits your attempt. Do you have anything behind it? Not in his eyes.
Oh, no chance.
Not in his game. Not this time.
He doesn't even
7-1 Vitality.
Not a moment where he gets greedy and goes a little bit too wide on that. 15-2 is Zaiwu here on map 5. Nico finally gets a kill outside early on to make it a 5v4, and then this happens. The conditioning for Vitality is the upper side has been left so passive for so long. There's no one up in Mustang, no one up in Fur, no one in Heaven to spot this Hunt walkout, and that gets used against them again.
Fast one. Flamesy wants to test it.
They're dropping the vent.
Thinking to yourself, you've just got the weapons advantage. You are absolutely correct. Playing with Falcons at the moment. Rob's gonna drop util just to ensure that there is no sudden thrust from the Falcons retake. There it is, the one gun. Nico knows he's got to do it, and he's got to do it on his terms.
Yeah, 5v3 now.
Just comes flying out through the smoke grenade, keeps them on their toes, and obviously here you see Apex so far removed. It is a long journey for him to join up with this very open crossfire between Rops and Mezzi. A vacant bomb site between them, pressure on both ends now that that smoke comes up, and Robs knows he has to play into cover. All of a sudden, his teammate's dead. And so Apex a little late to the party, but with a 10-second defuse covered by smoke, they get the better of it, you'd think.
Oh my god, the time
Yet
though.
again, it's gonna come down to the wire, but this time, it's Falcons.
Every kill and the last possible opportunity, and they get the defuse. I'm so happy for Falcons. Otherwise, what do they get out of this half? Vitality have every right to be upset about it because it is just these egoing players.
And guess what changed this round? Nico got to play.
Yeah.
Makes a move through smoke.
Ooh. Apex needed to go around to decon to make that happen, right? But he was on a very long walk there. I can understand.
7 rounds on this T side already. Spam damage for Rops to have to deal with. Magisk in these most recent rounds has been making a harder go of it for the Estonian. And we've seen a lot of setups with no Raptors support, but this time that's different. Kicksan gets vision of them crawling down that vent. Tons of damage done, but yet once more, it looks like bomb should plant. Tesses has other ideas. Molotov for him to have to deal with. Messi just wants to put this into the post plant. At the very least, bomb down. And maybe now these lurks can activate at the right moment. But Mondesi keeps his head on a swivel. Apex is going to write off the possibility of another on the 8th floor. Messi, your time to shine, and nothing more than the one. Falcons tether nicely, and they deal with these high-pressure situations smoothly. Another retake added to the round count.
Yeah,
3, Mo. It's not enough.
I'm surprised to see the vent plays because again, Vitalities don't do that often. But we've got 2 now in pretty close situations early on into the round, and this is why the CS2 you can spam the smoke, you can see somebody easily. Magisk, as you mentioned, has been doing really good damage early on versus Squeaky. And 2 lurks in play is just a little bit too much, so Vitality give one away.
So Vitality diving that vent, but we see it from Kicksan's perspective. Man, that really was at the end of the smoke. Maybe gets more vision than they would have liked. No denying they've got Falcons on the edge of their seats. And I think Falcons are going to stay there because they are starting to pull off these round wins.
I think they need more ideas, though. We'll see how Vitality approach this one. Throwing some utility again. They always establish, threaten the cross, get someone in secret, but here they could come back to upper. It's a vulnerable site. The way that it's been held so far, I'm not surprised they just want to straight up attack it.
Awkward here. Apex. Okay, you would have heard that. Kicksan takes fire damage, then he's gonna double down. You've got more pressure coming up from Squeaky, but the hut holds good here from Magisk. And so A-site defense tested, but not bested. And a vent drop? No way!
Well, he's got away with the bomb.
Zywoo comes back up, Magisk holds him, gets the headshot for 8 HP. He tries again. Slippery is this Zywoo.
Yeah. Wow, there's still 2 players up there. They're the ones who wanted to come down the vent after him. He had no idea. He thought for sure they had 1 player snuck away, and there was a chance that he pulled that off. But Falcons stuff the upper attack because they molly into mini. Apex comes in what looks like early. Kicksan has nowhere else to go, obviously.
I thought I heard a flash, and Kicksan was looking into the wall, so maybe Apex is really confident he's blind. He's going to take the risk, run through fire. You know, Apex does flirt with danger. But here we go. Momentum from Vitality suddenly comes to a bit of a halt.
Yeah, if they get, I mean, Falcons get 5 here, they've made a full recovery. It's not the 9-3 they got at Melbourne, but
potential for 4 in a row.
Definitely.
And knowing the stat line in terms of pistol round wins, you gotta hang on to that. From top hut, Magisk looks to thrive. Mezzi cuts him down, and Robs has got the next one here for Vitality. Dink though out from hut. It's in the realm of possibility. Tesses from the top gets it.
Oh, he got it.
Clean as need be. 4-round streak to end the half. faith in the Falcons because that half was so flat, and yet again, these elusive opening kills for Vitality do not stop them from winning the majority of the rounds in a half.
Now going into the second half, we'll see. It started off so badly with the pistol and the denied conversion, and then the one after that, and Falcons have showed us really impressive stuff here on the pistol. It's time to bring it again.
Rox finds his. Apex and Flamesy just fully expecting this play.
Total shutout.
In a game full of pistol round wins, we've not seen one so lopsided.
You can see Apex bouncing in his chair. The ramp set up the call to stack it. It's correct.
Read like a book.
Yeah, and there have been so many good pistol rounds here for Falcons in terms of reads. Getting to the open sight. Yeah, literally. So many different players in the kill feed. And they're having fun.
There's no way he is in a 25th potential match win streak, and Apex's mouse has run out of battery.
Is that what happened?
They said charge your mouse in between rounds.
No.
Apex. On his
Charging his mouse every round?
on his Waro arc.
Yeah, but Falcons just don't lose to that. You know what I mean?
Sure. That mouse may be running out of battery, but it doesn't look like Vitality is anytime soon. Not in a round like this one.
The juice properly.
Leaning back from this pistol. Falcons know time limited. And they want those buys as soon as possible. So let this one go. Hopefully Nico maybe can chip away at Vitality.
Maybe
but
play this round just plugged in, you know?
yeah, right.
That's a big deal. He's just charging 3 kilos.
Your teammates go for the chase.
We're never
This
going to
one-
be at the Olympics, bro. They're never going to take us serious.
Look, it's plugged
He has plugged in. There we go.
No way.
That's how you know it's time for a rifle round, folks.
That is how you know you've become too comfortable with winning. Or you've been playing too much Counter-Strike.
Hey, the technology's so good, it's lasted on this entire streak.
Right?
One charge.
The game just
Apex.
don't stop coming. Here we go. Buy round
Apex
for Falcons.
unplugged, baby.
And unleashed very quickly into Secret Stairs. He's not alone in this outer place. Iwu, whoa now.
Yeah. Oof.
Worried about Silo for a second.
Look how thorough these outer setups are. I mean, this is Iwu drawing attention. Like, before it was just Nico by himself floating around.
Yes.
Here, there's a little bit more going on. Oh, perfect clear out of Nico. Ducks under that one. Iwu with one back. They know that. Someone's crossed, someone's dropped.
Flamesy's MP9 in vent just kind of gives him a little more room. Nico thinking about the ladder, but Flamesy, oh, up close.
Step back at the perfect time.
Splatters him. And then cautious about kicksand. Now that is perfect. That's how you do it. Nico showed us an excellent approach to clearing the secret corner. Flamesy stepping back gives him a taste of his own medicine.
Allowing himself to get pre-fired, and the fact that he won that second duel is a moment where an individual changed the round entirely. Flames down to 11 HP, but his job is done. A few more seconds and Falcons will just think about saving.
See if they can get the bomb back, maybe. I think that should inspire you enough to think you could test this site.
Still got upstairs covered as well.
They try this.
Yeah, I guess they're here.
Thing is, I mean, this spot is just
Gotta be the
killer.
best clear ever. And Flamesy's low though.
Low HP gives them a second chance at the swing. Smoke grenade as well could cover the plant. Things could indeed get weird here. Flamesy repositions. Monacy catching a kill elsewhere.
What?
What a slide by.
He's still alive.
Disappears, and now Monacy
He wants
to a
more.
pistol.
That's the slippery Flamesy we know. That's beautiful. Every move, man. That's Flamesy in motion. Like, he avoided getting pre-fired. He took a little damage on his next fights with a nice push-pull in the vent, taking the fight on his own terms. Flash out and doing a Batman dive into the site with 11 health.
Just hurdles the railing there, slips down, kills one, dives over into the corner to make sure Modesty is spinning like a top. And Falcons are going to be left dizzy at the prospect of this comeback now. Vitality say, if you want to best us, do what we do best, and that is comeback. Cyru's going to get killed by Magis from behind red, so that's a gun to be grabbed.
Reconfirmed on the cross, bomb dropped as well. Now, Falcons have to be worried that they go to try to take over inner. We're talking about it. Basically an eco, besides. Yeah.
And the fact that they bring Kevlar into the equation. The awkward features of that Mirage game was the rounds Falcons pulled out of the hat with lesser buys. We haven't seen it since, but it could damn well rear its head here in the 16th of Nuke. Rops is getting distracted, but unfortunately for the Falcon side, Kixan can't get him.
Can't use a Rops play versus Rops, can you? It seems like Falcons are doing a lot of what Vitality do, except the difference is Vitality are playing pushed up outside, more players outside in general, a lot more active, a lot more information.
Stark contrast to the moments where a single smoke blocks Nico's vision.
Anybody who's spotted Mezzi has the cross from opposite vent.
They'll watch it from vent at 25. Mezzi should be afforded to just lock in on this swing.
Sometimes has to check Squeaky just in case because of Rops' feet. But
right now, burst time impossible for him, but Rops is able to find that. Vent player, okay.
No problem.
Mezzi just gonna snap it down. It felt like they had found their opening. Falcons getting the better of the timing.
There is just one, he had to check Squeaky at least a little bit just because Rops will get spotted at his feet by people walking out of Squeaky, but he's in a good spot to watch HUD. Only timing they could have come out, they found it, but he still handles the situation.
And I'm curious because Rops gets the kill on Heaven, so I wonder if he checks it. Yeah, that Sixth Sense tingles.
Yeah, wow. Did he just duck under a shot, though?
In the moment Mezzi checks Squeaky, Rops knows hold Heaven.
Wow.
That is the level of communication that Vitality are currently operating on. Cerebral CS.
I would love to know if they comped it. Because whether or not it was communication or intuition, it's incredible. These guys just met each other.
Almost exposed. Shots from top silo. Apex, though, I think, he's afforded these kinds of spams. Even when we're talking about Nico and Brawl, think about how infrequently he spammed any smokes or kind of puffed his chest like Apex will. Why? Because he was always on his own.
Yeah, they could have had more needs, The one time Kixan naded it, he killed the boss. CS2 nuke, man. You gotta put more pressure on those smokes. Rops and Zai were both 18 and 8 in this game. We'll see if Nico just gets cozy in the vent for the upstairs pop or what. One spotted, door gets opened upstairs. They're really trying to fake this with Nico. But no one has to move from the CT perspective. No one in the hut to catch that drop-off.
Molotov gets him to change spots. Cyro down after one. You've got Mezzi looking to anchor, supported from above.
Oh, what a shot.
That support's dead thanks to Modesty. Bunch of damage here. A late arrival from Rops, as he is nowhere to be found. All made possible by Modesty, who was not afforded much gameplay in that first half. Just left over in ramp, barely ever tested. From 6 kills to 9 off this integral moment.
I think that's also game plan, though, that Monster gets into the game, because this is another player that could have been getting kills outside. There was no popping outside in general. And because it's Nico who can and decide to play by himself, I wouldn't be surprised if that was just the idea they had. But the amount of times they could have picked off, a lot of teams could pick off Apex walking around, even though he's very careful. There are tons of chances to do that. This round won't come without losses. Okay, Kixan survives, gets a kill in the end. One round here for Falcons. Upward take that's very close. Vitality, they're not gullible here. They don't actually move too many players down lower because that Nico fake. But Modesty hits a key shot up into heaven.
Here are the other ones as well.
Side pot, side.
round.
Clearly a bit of an act of desperation there from Flamesy.
Gonna take a little more.
Affords them, even though only one player survives. Another gun round with nades.
It's cleared out. Tessa's going to get 4 kills for you again on Nuke, so it's going to have to be Monacy and Nico coming up to make this comeback happen. This could be where we were at on Mirage with the same thing for Vitality. It's time for you to look inspired, Falcons. Just coming off a good round.
The engine of each of these teams are their op and rifle combo. It is very clear that Vitality's is online. Yet again, Robson Zywoo top the charts. Waiting for their challenge, and it's offered up by Kixan. Flamesy bested. That's looking like a nice primed A site for the taking. Monacy thinking about that flank. Good on him. It's a nice risk assessment. But Robson will always respond if you give him that chance. And it's a weather not tethered off of Apex. Can he come out from Garage to join up here? Or because of the cost of the last round, they let this one off.
Maybe they try it. I don't know if they're going to wait for a mistake and see. They're going to come down to Apex here.
At the same time, you've also talked about a round one ago that cost a lot of Falcons as they departed that bomb site with the round win. Looks like Vitality understands the weight of the situation.
They kept the losses high last round on Falcons win. We're going to try to do that again.
Almost.
Apex dies.
Robso could still do it. He'll drop at least one.
跳敏快，
又要输了，我的天哪！劣币，
那个很强的嘞。
谁？有 Dunk 哦，好像没进诶 ，Grand Final 没看到他。
自己笑死，
不是最近一个比赛也是这两队打。
自己。
Double hunt setup that only gets 1 kill in Monacy's awareness. Make sure to refrag and get a second in the sequence. 2 good rifle rounds back to back for him.
我追不赢。
Vitality been executing lots of kills on rounds like these, if not outright winning them. So surely Falcons should approach this with caution.
Doesn't try to hide the facts.
I wonder if they see the outside cross smokes, if Vitality are going to try to go into a stack, because they're doubled up on ramp at the moment. We see that Robs takes trophies so often, or at least postures for it. If this goes into an upper hit, they don't clear this out first, this is going to be something they have to consider again. Wow.
Oh, he is cranking it up.
Oh, nicely done, Monacy.
Perfectly isolates those fights. Fingers crossed, that is a sign of what's to come.
Looks like they're aiming to take this downstairs, actually. It should be no problem, but he's on speed dial. Outside of secret, 2 players already downstairs. With the proper utility, there's nothing to be
干，
worried
这边
about.
到底强不强啊？
The only thing they have to keep watch of is the time.
They still
这
have
样找
enough.
来的话很强
Big
啊。
pistol swing, hold on. All's good. Monacy and Tessez keep their vision on that windowsill. And they make sure there's no funny business here from Vitality. That one rifle Zywoo had never got a chance to shine. Maybe, depending on Magic's next moves, may not get a chance to save.
So 2 rounds prior had 1 left alive. This, they'll actually have 4. This will help them stabilize. For the buy round coming up. This game gets 1 step closer. Into the first half of the 4-round streak. Looking to go on fire to make this comeback possible. Honestly, with the inspirited rifle performance here to complement his op performance on Mirage. 35 frags from him on Mirage.
I mean, both the maps that you see on the top of the board for Falcons, essentially usually Mondesi. The star of both shows. Mirage, a whole other level. Only player to come into this 5th map with a positive rating. And how poetic would it be if he can push this Vitality the distance?
It was such a slow first half. So we got Mondesi. We still haven't seen Nico.
Much like Rob's joining Vitality, Mondesi hoping to be that key to unlock everybody else. He'll step it up on his own if he has to. Silent cross outer and no contest. Of all the rounds we've seen Vitality play quite forward defense outside, this is not the case. And how does that change their lower hold?
Apex greets him with the smoke to let him know that he's ahead of this. Hut lurks are a little awkward sometimes because you don't protect the vent drop, but you're less likely to be cleared if someone's, if there's going to be some kind of lower take. You're very careful with your jump spots. Oh, shot comes out early. They're going to rush him down.
Sir fires beyond them, so nearly 0 damage off that one. And even a little bit slow to get out from the window, but he's lucky Falcons don't pounce.
It's kind of a weird composition. Are they going to upstairs, or are they going to commit here? Magix is still sitting here inside the hut.
It's just that Mac 10. And
The ball's
Messi's
going
done.
back. Yeah, they are going to try to bring it back upstairs. This is like a late round adjustment. We'll see if it works.
Incendiary to go
Simon's
down
getting a
Hut.
clue.
And if it gets dropped on Hut, then suddenly Magisk is turned away from sight.
Little awkward here.
He still finds Flamesy at the very least, but now we're going double defense in the site. Apex
The bomb.
starting to get
He was going
rambunctious.
back lower.
What's Mondesi gonna do with 15 seconds? He's cut off by the in-game leader. They go back and forth. Damage here from Apex. There is still time. They've got to try to run it down with low health. Dark held on to 7 seconds. Plant denied. And they outplay themselves.
Yes, they do. They get so confused. They have 2 ideas happening at the same time. They don't know which one to follow. And coming back up secret only gets them killed. Unfortunately, after 3 great rounds for Falcons, they fall apart mentally. They get too confused, it's too cluttered. The ideas, there's maybe too many cooks in the kitchen. Maybe it's the inexperience. But it's not a round to be proud of, unfortunately. That's a tough way to go out.
Conversation we had back on Mirage with the inability to close over 9 map points only to win the first in OT. You said a classic sign of pressure.
Yeah.
When the comeback is yours to accomplish, so is losing to time.
Whether it looks like they could plant or not, they didn't give themselves a real chance of taking a site with control and patience. They just had to rush it down. And yes, there are moments here where Vitality are even confused. And that's because the options they thought were real weren't. So that's a 4-round game. Falcons have to do better than that. It's hard to compare an IGL to someone like Apex, who has played for as long as he has, versus all the best teams in the world in history, and who has been IGLing for 6 years now.
Wealth of experience in different roles on different rosters in different periods of Counter-Strike. We talk about Kerrigan's encyclopedia that he's able to tap into. Apex is creating those pages.
Yeah, not only has he become a great IGL, he's now the one that everyone copies. That's the biggest compliment to his game. But are you just going to be a cheap imitation? And if so, are you going to be obvious?
Man, what are they trying this time? We've gotten down to 40 seconds.
Yeah,
There's barely been movement.
This is bad again. I think they want to take an upper because that's where their best entries are. Apex catches lurks from this position. This is why you play here.
Deep lean, it's a back turn to him. Oh, but he lets Flamesy drop in the process. Hut push means bomb drop. Mezzy off the site again. Rock solid anchors. Rock solid vitality. They pull it off again.
赛。
小心饮食也要有好代谢、好体质，选善存3效益生菌，青春代谢双专利加凤梨酵素，好消化，顺畅代谢，青春好体质，善存3效益生菌。
日本第一 Ariel， 隔夜污渍一定要先泡 Ariel 全新上市，超强极净，添加去渍净化因子，免浸泡，加速溶解脏污，从里到外干净看得到。Ariel 去渍一步就够。
担心气色不上相，还是上班入晃神？你需要克补 B 群，增量10倍比12，超活力，好美丽，神专注，克补一定3效，随时闪耀，这么有力。
不只有力，我还有心。
这样是有中还没中啊？
那现在都爱快筛，每人就有一个新冠重症高风险，一有症状就要快筛，要筛不要猜。
我还是很有活力，可以到处玩，接受各种挑战，朋友们都还是欠我的。
善存有22种必需营养素，男性善存增量 B1、B12，增量锌，思绪清晰，好活力，6大年轻状态，真实有感。
我很喜欢现在的自己。
男女善存。
你好，这是玩电视网，欢迎跟我们脚步一同欣赏2025 F1级方程式赛车。我是高明贤，在我身旁是2位大家相当熟悉的赛评，跟我们一同欣赏。稍后要展开是本季第6站迈阿密的正赛，稍后登场。将欢迎的是徐艺 Jerry， 欢迎 Jerry。
以前 Dennis， 各位观众大家好。
好，这样欢迎说郑 Dennis， 大家好 ，Jerry 马丁，大家好。好，当然在昨天包含了算是相当混乱的一天呐、冲刺赛到排位赛整个结束之后，来到正赛前，当然 Max Verstappen 又一次抢下了杆位，这是本季第3次Max 抢下杆位的情形。不过在整个今天正赛开始前，其实大家都变得神经紧绷，因为赛前下了一场大雨，比赛中好像又有可能会有下雨的一个情形。
的确，目前从卫星云图来看，这个赛车场附近就有雷雨包，然后这个原本天气预报就有40%是有下雨的几率，那再加上先前已经下过一次雨，而且 F1 Academy 也因为这样子而取消了比赛。那因为取消了比赛，所以场上有一些地方的积水是没有人去扫的，所以场上目前大部分是干的，但是还是有一些地方有一点点的这个水渍。
好，今天在赛前，当然因为迈阿密在这一站其实是F1 包含他们今年合作的 F1 的电影相当重要选择要亮相的一站，所以包含了昨天我们看到了 Rose， 今天刚刚看到的是 Lisa， 都来到了现场。目前的气温跟昨天其实感觉起来差不多，但因为下雨的关系，所以整体的湿度其实相对之下是更高的。但这或许这种不确定的因素，也将让整个比赛今天在策略上，或许原本大家预期这一停的一个策略，在这些可能的状况发生的前提之下，大家都要多做更多预备。
如果有安全车，如果有天气的变化，那就会造成这个1停以上的这个进站策略。否则以这个赛道过往的经验，黄胎大概以去年来讲，这个 Lando Norris 他跑了30圈，然后白胎就更不用讲，所以1停是没有问题的。
虽然在轮胎选项上，菲艾利是特地做出了一个调整，但在配方上却比去年要更坚固所以当然也带来了不一样的情形。Jerry Group 在这几年其实都变成是 F1 场边的常客，当然地狱神厨也是
Ramsey， 他其实是在今年其实有跟 F1 合作，就是在这个美洲的3站，然后欧洲的3站，总共1年有9站。他在这个 pit room 的最尾巴，然后他会开设一家叫做 pit， 他的专属跟 F1 合作的一个餐厅，然后一个套票的贩售。
F1 原本就是顶尖的社会名流，他们很重要的一个社交平台。那在 F1 的起跑点上面，更是这些所谓的 VVVIP 这个如果被邀请，那就是另外一种身份地位的表征哦，也是等于是全世界最顶层的这个人士才能够来到这。
迈阿密站从2022年开始到现在，确实变成是相当具有指标性的单站赛事啊，包含整个风格，包含邀请的这些士绅名流 celebrity 啊，都是相当不一样的一个风格。那也多少凸显了在美洲的，尤其在美国的一个单站当中，都有各自不同的一个诉求。好，距离迈阿密的正赛开始还有将近22分钟左右的时间，大家都正在准备